What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT, a channel that I've watched a few times in the past. Nuke the Fridge just got entirely demonetized for reusing content, which they do not do. This is a clear error of YouTube thinking that they have reused some content without adding context, but I think it points to a much bigger problem with the platform. Now, last week I made a video saying how I felt like I disagreed with how YouTube handled Tipster's situation. A few weeks back, I disagreed with how YouTube handled Augie's situation with demonetizing them because of harassment or bullying or whatever the specifics were of that. They got their channels demonetized and need to do different content and get reevaluated in the future. And I disagreed because YouTube was stepping in, trying to tell people how they should act and shouldn't act on a platform that is just that. It's a platform. It's not something for YouTube to inject themselves into. They are a platform, not a publisher. And that is my stance on this. YouTube needs to pick what they are. They can't keep injecting themselves and deciding the fate of people who have worked an extremely long time and just one day up and lose all their monetization because YouTube decides, or actually I shouldn't even say YouTube. That makes it sound like there's some person behind the scenes doing this, when in fact, I think we've all learned by now, it's a robot doing all this, and YouTube is way too big for itself to control anything, so they're letting an automated algorithm robot change and decide the future of channels that have poured hours upon weeks and months of time, if not more, into making these videos. I'm talking like combined time. Obviously, many of these channels have been around for some over a decade. Now, this situation with Nuke the Fridge is a little bit different because they got a letter saying that their channel is being demonetized because of reuse of content. Now, when you look at the stipulations of reuse of content in YouTube, specifically it states you need to add something as a personal touch to this. You need to make the content yours. Yes, you can reuse other content, but you need to change it up and basically stay within what the copyright claims are and making sure you're not just stealing videos and re-uploading them on your channel to monetize them.
That actually repurposes someone else's content without adding any original commentary or significant educational value. So,
okay, not one of my videos does that. And that's what the flag is for. Not one of my videos. These are all my interviews.
So the initial reason for this is, I feel, a good reason. YouTube wants to look out for those channels that are just, most of them foreign, just stealing content and re-uploading it and putting ads on it and making money off of it and not doing any actual work. It ultimately, at its most brazen form, makes sense. The problem is YouTube is now expanding that and starting to go after some channels that don't do anything wrong for the sheer fact of some of their content might look like it's stolen. I mean, that's all I can gather from what I know about Nuke the Fridge and what YouTube's policy is enacting here. Because if you watch Nuke the Fridge's channel, they get some legitimate one-on-one interviews. I mean, he had an interview with Keanu Reeves. He was at the red carpet for Jon Favreau. Like, he's been in very big places and done serious stuff. And his channel is only at, right now, 30,000 subscribers, which is legit this day and age on YouTube. But still, for the type of videos that Nuke the Fridge was putting together, they had a fairly small subscriber base. So all I can gather from what I've seen and what I know is that YouTube's algorithm, and I could be completely wrong on this, but YouTube's algorithm put two and two together and said, yeah, there's no way this small channel would be getting those low views, but actually meeting with these people. And oh, by the way, that looks like someone else's content. So just flag the whole channel down because clearly they're stealing content. That's scary. That's scary because, first off, you're completely changing the dynamic, the entire course of the direction of a channel by deciding that just on a whim. And you have to wait, 60 days before you can ask for remonetization because of a mistake. And there's no guarantee that when you ask for the fix of this mistake, that YouTube will back up and be like, oh yeah, we actually made a mistake. Sorry about the past month or two, but now it's fixed for you. Going forward, there's not going to be an issue anymore. You have to hope that YouTube admits to their fault and just fixes it. But what I'm saying is YouTube needs to step up. Team YouTube needs to step in and say, okay, we made a mistake here. Clearly our system is flawed. It doesn't look like a human being made this decision. What it looks like to me is a robot algorithm decided based off of what this channel shows. It might have provided quick clips to an end user, a human that just watched probably 10-second clips from 5 or 8 different videos and was like, yeah, that's reused content. Demonetize that entire channel. Which it isn't. That isn't the case. That's the problem. There are not enough people working at YouTube to be able to make these kind of decisions rationally with all the information required to be able to make the proper decision. So instead, we're being left as creators to hope that the algorithm, the almighty algorithm, doesn't just stumble upon our channel someday and say, looks like this channel is in violation of rule X, Y, and Z that we invented out of thin air 12 years ago. And because of that, we're going to completely ruin and destroy everything they've done and move on to the next channel and go ahead and keep moving on. And they'll just have to be left to deal with it. That's the issue here. Like, what I see happening is what's been progressing for the past, 5 years on YouTube? But it seems to be picking up speed right now, where YouTube is just turning into Hollywood, where they don't give a crap about the individual creators. They don't give a crap about you. Like, remember YouTube? Do you remember how that word you is what's in your name? Do you remember that's the personality people bring to their videos that people want to watch and learn about? That's what YouTube was supposed to be. Problem is with Google buying it now and YouTube enacting all the policies that Google wants, they're twisting and turning everything that YouTube originally stood for and focusing it more onto content that's made by major corporations and publications. So you got the ABCs, the CBSs of the world, the Hollywoods of the world. Everyone who has these major platforms and tons of people working for them are being promoted like crazy when it looks at the algorithm on the front page, on the trending, all these huge Jimmy Kimmels, Ellens. It's only getting worse. And something like this only magnifies that. Nuke the Fridge was one of those channels that went, for the most part, under the radar when it came to serious Hollywood interviews, because it was just a dude who worked his ass off to get into the positions he was in, to be able to interview these people, to be able to sit down with them and talk about these movies, to be able to review these movies, to be able to go to these red carpets. And then you got YouTube coming in saying, yeah, you're just a little guy and there's no way you could have been doing this stuff. So demonetize that whole channel and not even worry about doing research, because YouTube is, in a weird way, they're in a position of power that cannot be compromised. Nobody can fight against the machine that is YouTube. Google runs everything, and if they make a decision, you're screwed. Like that is what it becomes. That's what it comes down to. And Nuke the Fridge got boned here. So the purpose of this video is just to one, be a reminder, do not do YouTube full time. Don't put too much effort into this, because any day YouTube could just take your channel and be like, yeah, because of this random rule violation, we're going to get rid of everything you've ever done and you're not going to make any money on this. And two, to amplify this message, hopefully some bigger channels will pick up on it, because while I might be noticed in the community, I know people watch me, people of influence watch me, my subscriber count is not where it needs to be for this type of thing to get acknowledgement. So hopefully people will see this and signal boost it, because what happened to Nuke the Fridge is completely wrong. It's a mistake. I've reached out to Team YouTube on Twitter. Obviously, they haven't gotten back to me, but even if they do, it's half robotic anyway. And I know about how Team YouTube works on Twitter anyways, because when I used to work at Sony as a game master, we had a bunch of automated responses. Most of them got pre-filled and we just pressed enter. Like the computer system, this was 13 years ago. 13 years ago, the computer system back then could already read comments and already give automated replies, and we would just hit enter on them just to be able to go through as many as possible. What the system is now, God only knows. It's probably a lot more advanced than that, which means that there are a lot of complaints coming into Team YouTube on a daily basis. And there's only a few people, in my opinion, that are actually working the clock on Team YouTube on Twitter. And that might be giving it too much credit. The problem with that is they don't have time to actually investigate anything. They don't have time to give effort into any issues. They just say, oh, go see Form B of our policy 431-A on line 3 where it says this. Make sure you review our policies. Let us know if you have any more questions. Send, enter, goodbye, you're done. That's basically what Team YouTube on Twitter has become. And that's a problem. That's a problem. We need to be able to speak up, get our voices heard, and let YouTube know that as creators, as viewers, especially viewers, we're not going to stand for this, because we won't be able to continue making the content we do if YouTube keeps this authoritative position where they just strike anyone down for any random reason, which is what this is. It's a complete error. It's a random reason. It's a mistake. It's a problem. And it's concerning because of the direction YouTube's been going. It makes you wonder, could this happen to me tomorrow, today? It could. Could this happen to you if you're a creator? Yeah, that's a big issue. So even though this doesn't necessarily directly affect me, it kind of does in a way. It's concerning because I'm seeing all these dominoes fall all around me, and I'm like, it's just a matter of time before YouTube comes to me and hits me with a random reason why I can't monetize my channel. But here's the thing, by the way. I know people are like, oh, you shouldn't care that much about being monetized. It doesn't matter. It does matter being monetized, because if you can't get the ads before your videos, the YouTube algorithm will not promote what you make, and ergo you will not grow. And YouTube has tried to deny that as much as they can, but I believe it was Nerd City that made a video that completely debunked YouTube saying that that doesn't happen, because it clearly does. And I know from my own personal experiences, just looking at the stats, when I make a video that gets instantly demonetized, when I cover a sensitive topic, when I cover something that is too questionable for the SJWs over at YouTube headquarters, then the video is demonetized and it just falls flat on its face. It will not get any kind of trending upward success of views. It just dies on the table. So it forces creators to fit within this very narrow gap to be able to not do anything wrong on their videos, not say anything wrong. And now with Nuke the Fridge, it's like, now we can't even show videos because that could potentially make us a suspect for reusing content, even though that's definitely not what's happening. It's just, it's so frustrating. It's depressing. It makes me not want to keep making YouTube videos, because if I'm going to be putting all this effort into the videos, which in my actual garage, in my studio where I do the full-on research videos and stuff like that, it's like if one day my channel is just going to be worthless and won't go anywhere because of a random rule that YouTube made, why do I keep trying anyways? And that right there is the issue. I think that's what YouTube is going for here, is they want to try to get rid of creators. They want to demotivate people. They want less creators on the platform. So ergo, there wouldn't be more competition for the Hollywood studios that are putting all the money into this stuff. Instead of just letting the viewers decide what they want to watch, they're going to start curbing the views and putting them into what YouTube wants you to be seeing. And that is the biggest issue in all of this. Anyways, I hope this video reaches somebody with some sort of significant influence where they can contact a rep at YouTube and be like, hey, you guys made a mistake with Nuke the Fridge. Send them an apology email, remonetize their channel, and let's move on from this. I know that's kind of wishful thinking this day and age, but ultimately, our hands are tied as creators without somebody interjecting and stopping this, because there's nothing we can do about it. And that is extremely frustrating. Anyways, I'm going to leave the video right there. I hope for the best with Nuke the Fridge. This is completely wrong. It's BS. And it's YouTube in 2020. What else is new? Anyways, thanks so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.